Hello. I'm going to talk about a very poorly understood practice called the Hua Tou Technique. It's a Chan practice. It's the supreme, most powerful practice of meditation practice, but it's also the most difficult. So that's why it's sometimes confused with mantras, which are recited. Basically, a Hua Tou is the word head. It's called the word head because it's the word that you have in mind before it is spoken. And so, for example, if you say, "Who am I?" Well, the emphasis would be on who, of course. And at the beginning of the practice, you can say, "Who am I?" one time. But to continuously say who, which some people suggest, is really not understanding the nature of the Hua Tou. When the word is spoken, it's considered the word tail. And so when we recite a mantra, we're reciting the tail end, the word after it's words after it's spoken. So it's very different with the Hua Tou, because you don't say the Hua Tou, except maybe at the very beginning, once. The object is to have the mind in a very, very intense state, like a woman who's about to give birth to a baby. And as you know, labor can be a very long process. And it can be that the baby's, wants to come out, but it's not quite coming out. This can go on for hours. I know that. So the Hua Tou is like that. The baby's not quite out and it's not entirely in. It's not quite out. The word who is not out. It's not spoken. You have the capability of speaking it, but you don't speak it. And so that kind of teeter-tottering mind, where between recitation and not recitation, is the Hua Tou. And many people confuse that by thinking that you have to say who, because they're habituated to speaking, talking, maybe talking too much, and they don't understand the nature of the mind itself, where all words arise from. So all words arise from the same source, no matter what they are. And so the idea of the Hua Tou is to get to that source where all words arise. It's like sitting at a table and you want the salt. So you want to say to somebody at the end of the table, "Please pass the salt." And just as you're about to say please, notice somebody else taking it. So you got your mouth like half open, about to say please, and then somebody grabs it, so you don't really say please, but you really don't not say it. You have the capability of saying it any moment, so you're waiting for the person to be done, and then you'll say the word that's in your mind. So the object of a Hua Tou is to keep the who, if that's your Hua Tou. Who am I? Who is being mindful of the Buddha? If the object of your Hua Tou is that, then you keep that on the tip of your mental tongue, like if somebody was going to chop your head off any moment in the hour or two you're sitting there. Only that who would come out, nothing else. So it's a very intense state of awareness. There's nothing else there. There's not any other words in your mind but that who. That who is the potential to say who is all that's there. There's not a potential to say any other word but that who. People that cannot do this practice, they say you have to recite who. But it's not a mantra. The very definition of the Hua Tou is contradictory to mantra recitation. If you think that it's like a mantra, then you miss the whole point of this practice. It's not a recitation of any kind. Now, if you cannot keep the who on your tip of your mental tongue for any length of time, then you recite mantras or do some other practice other than the Hua Tou until you really can do the Hua Tou properly. So, there's certainly better mantras to recite than who, like an owl. So if that's all you can do, then mantra recitation is a better practice. There's very efficacious mantras. But more efficacious than any other kind of recitation is the Hua Tou, if you can do it. But if you can't do it, don't advise anybody to recite it, because that's wrong instruction. Keep in mind that the definition of a Hua Tou is the word head. The word head is the word before it is spoken. The word tail is the word after it's spoken. And this is the instruction, that's been given by masters for forever. So it's only a one-sentence instruction. A Hua Tou is the word before it is spoken. That's it. There's no mystery about it. It's difficult.